Hey, what's up, guys? I would usually begin these videos with, "Hey, what's up, Vinyl Community? It's your boy Chris coming at you live as always from the Man Cave." Although I don't think there are going to be too many people from the Vinyl Community, they're going to see this one all the way through. My absolute closest friends in the Vinyl Community probably will, and the rest of you probably won't. But for those of you who stick it out, my first non-vinyl related video in the Vinyl Community, I had to do it. I needed it on my channel. I need it. So, first video you guys have seen from me in quite some time, but here we go. So it's about my boy. It's about my hero, Kobe, being Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and the other victims from the helicopter accident. Um, I can remember in the draft night, draft night years ago, guys. I've been a Laker fan since I was 5 years old, which a lot of people think is weird, seeing as how I'm from the East Coast, seeing as how I'm from South Carolina. But when I started picking sports teams when I was 5 or 6, I literally picked every sports team I'm a fan of when I was 5 years old. I just did. I just went through the line and picked. And I picked most of them based off the players I idolized or the history. And for the Lakers, I picked off of Magic Johnson and the history. That's how I became a Laker fan. That's how that happened. And I stuck with them through thick and thin, everything. But anyway, none of that matters. Remember draft night, 96, 97. I'm 10, 11 years old. I can remember with the 12th pick, I can remember the Charlotte Hornets, which oddly enough is the home team for me. The team that plays in an arena 40 minutes from my front door. Uh, Selecting 18-year-old Kobe Bryant. Well, 17-year-old then, Kobe Bryant. And I can remember thinking, because even then I had scouted, I'd heard, I'd listened, and I knew how much I wanted Kobe. And we traded Vlade Divac, some other stuff. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. We robbed the Hornets is what we did. And the rest is history. Jerry West orchestrated a masterpiece, paired at then time the best player in the league, most dominant center ever, and Shaquille O'Neal with young 17-year-old Kobe Bryant, who everybody, especially Jerry West, thought had tremendous upside. And obviously he did. And he was right. The logo knows what he's talking about. Go figure. So we pair the two of them up, and head coach Dale Harris at the time, Eddie Jones. I mean, I know I'm dropping some names some of you guys probably haven't heard of. As the starting shooting guard at the time, position that Kobe would eventually eventually take a stranglehold on for a decade plus. Kobe barely ever got in games, but when he did, he always brought that flair. He always brought the showmanship. He always brought the house down. At the time, the Lakers still played in the Great Western Forum. I mean, it was magic. And it was just wonderful. And so Kobe Bryant was named an All-Star starter before he was named a Lakers starter, which is interesting. But that just goes to show you. I mean, the guy took Brandy to the prom. He had that flair, that showmanship. He was the guy who brought the crowd to their feet, even if he was only in the game 12, 13, 14 minutes. And I loved him from day one. I just did. He got out there, his zest, his zeal, his pure just joy for the game. And you could tell. And the skeptics were like, well, he never passes the ball. The people who were on his side are like, he's a killer. He's a stone cold killer. This guy's a winner. You can chalk me up in that group. Like, who would you rather have? Who would you rather take the shots? Anyway, I can remember that first playoff series for Kobe and the Lakers. I can remember against Utah. I can remember him being in there in crunch time. 2 air balls. And obviously, as a fan, I'm not happy about the air balls, but he was my boy. I was riding with him, and I'm just thinking, even as a 12, 13-year-old little boy, because a lot of you guys are like, how old are you, Chris? I've always been diehard about sports, and I can remember thinking, this happens one or two ways. He either lets it beat him down, maybe he never bounces back, or he lets it motivate him, and he becomes the true best version of himself. And as you guys saw through highlights and whatnot, option B happened. Um, I can remember like it was yesterday. 4 years in high school, the Lakers made it to the finals. All 4 years, won 3 straight championships my freshman through junior year. Lost to the Pistons in my 4th year. That still hurts. Our team was so much better. That still hurts. But anyway, that one still stings. But I can remember that, and I can remember the rift between Shaq and Kobe. Obviously, which led to us picking sides. Who do you pick? Do you pick the, approaching the end of his prime, 7 foot plus big man, or do you pick the early 20s, 6'6" two guard who's never had any injuries? I mean, it's easy. It's easy. A lot of us were voting with our hearts back then, but it's easy. And if you look at it in retrospect, we made the right choice. We shipped Shaq off to Miami, and we struggled for a few years. Kobe scored a hell of a lot of points. 35, 36 a game 1 year or two. He had this season where he ran off like 50 plus, like 15 games in a row. I can't remember the exact number, guys. I didn't prep this. This is from the heart. But everybody around him was, yeah. And I can remember going to a game with my mom. My mom also, unlike pretty much everybody else in my family, my mom also played basketball like myself when she was in school. And so anything I knew about basketball, I enjoyed with my mother. But I can remember my family going ahead to a trip in the Smoky Mountains. And I can remember staying behind. I bought 2 tickets to a Hornets versus Lakers game. Then they were the Bobcats. It was Lakers Bobcats. Lakers in Charlotte. It's the only time I've ever gone to Charlotte to see a game when the Lakers have been in town. And I can remember them going on up. Me and my mom were like, and we spent the day together. We went and we had lunch. We went and we caught a movie, and then we caught a game afterwards, which was Lakers Bobcats. And that's what I looked forward to all day, rocking this exact same Kobe jersey. I'm not late to the game, guys. As you can see, sponsor Adidas. For those of you who don't know what that means, the NBA sponsor at the time was Adidas. It's not that way anymore. So I bought this white Sunday home jersey the year it came out. I was such a big fan of it. I love it. I've only worn it I've worn it less than 10 times. I don't want to mess it up. I love it. And we go to the game. I'm wearing this jersey. I'm shocked. I'm psyched. I'm pumped. Kobe scores 56 points. 3 overtimes. We had nobody else that year but Kobe. He fouls out in the 3rd overtime. Bobcats win. Last year, at the Lakers Hornets game in Charlotte, me and my brother, my dad, my nephew were there to catch LeBron for the first time as a Laker. And we didn't disappoint. We won big. I wish we would have won. I think in 2007. So many years ago. I don't remember many things about 2007, but I remember that. But anyway, and it was like the 20th anniversary. It was a certain year anniversary for the Hornets franchise. And they were showing like highlights throughout the game of the best games in Bobcats/Hornets history, and that one pops up. It showed Kobe scoring all of his points, and it showed the Bobcats ultimately winning. And I'm thinking, man, I was there. I just wish the Lakers had won, but I was there. But I remember watching him score 81 points against the Toronto Raptors. I remember watching him score 60 through 3 quarters against the New York Knicks not too long thereafter, where I thought, man, he probably could have scored 90 that night. He was on fire. And I can remember the years where we had bad rosters and he wheeled us to the playoffs. I can remember that. I can remember adding Pau Gasol and going to the finals back-to-back years. Magic 1 year, Celtics the next year. I can remember, and I can remember the 2 rings he won without Shaq. And I can remember, I know his favorite one had to have absolutely been the one, his last one, that he won over the Celtics after the Celtics had beat us the year before. And I just know that I'm talking all about basketball, but it leads up to a bigger point. I can remember his very last game in the NBA. Now, it must have been like 3 or 4 years ago now. And I can remember it's his last game. We were terrible that year. We won like 15 games. We were awful. And I still watched every chance I got because we had Kobe, and Kobe's must-see TV, and I'm a fucking Lakers fan. So, ride or die. Win, lose, draw, I'm a Lakers fan for life. And I can remember the game didn't tip off till 10:30. Guys, I had to be up at 4:30 in the morning to go to work a 12-hour shift. And I remember telling my wife, I don't care how I feel tomorrow, I'm staying up. I'm watching the game. And my wife's like, do you think that's a good idea and everything like that? You're going to feel terrible tomorrow. And I'm like, I know I'm going to feel terrible tomorrow. I don't care. It's Kobe Bryant's last game. I've been watching him for 20 years. I've got to do it. This is for Kobe. And my wife was like, well, if you get up, if you get down big or if they get up big, come on to bed. I'm like, watching all 48. All 48. I don't care. I'll never see this man play basketball again. I'm staying up for the whole thing. And I can remember, obviously, like so many of us, because it was only just a few years ago, Kobe goes out, he scores 60. 60 points in his last game, in his 20th season in the NBA. And I can remember Shaq, who was there courtside for Kobe's last game, because their relationship had just come full circle. They were back, being boys again. And I can remember Shaq saying, I told him to go get 50 and the motherfucker got 60. And we were down almost all night. And I can remember Kobe just willing us to a victory in the fourth quarter, because it's the Mamba mentality. It's Kobe Bryant. Name known all over the world for good freaking reason. And we win. And I got into bed that night on such a high. I stayed up. I watched all the post-game stuff. I watched his post-game speech to his daughters and to Vanessa and his wife. And you could tell that this was a guy who had left it all out on the court. And I already knew that anyway. When you paid for a ticket to see Kobe Bryant, you knew you were getting your money's worth. This was not a guy who was going to phone it in on a night. This is not a guy who was going to take a night off, theoretically speaking. This was a guy that if he was on the court, in the lineup, he was going to give you every damn drop that he had. And it was going to be worth it. It was going to be box office, and you were going to go knowing that you spent your hard-earned paycheck on greatness. That's what that was. And so the next morning, we wake up, and my wife's like, how you feel? I'm like, I'm tired. She goes, well, what happened last night? Was it worth it? I said, Kobe scored 60 and we won. Yeah, it was worth it. She goes, he scored how many? 60. Oh, man. I've watched replays of that game about 3 times now. Forever worth it. So many memories, guys, 20 plus years. And I can remember the day that Kobe died. I was working at Noble Records. And my phone rings, and it's my father-in-law. I'm thinking, father-in-law's only ever called me twice. Ever. I've been married to his daughter a decade. But I'm working. I'll call him back later. My father-in-law, by the way, lives in Orange County, California. A Lakers fan like myself is something he and I have in common. But I'm like, I'll call him later. I'm working. 45 seconds later, my brother, who I'm always going to answer a phone call from my brother. I just am. It doesn't matter where I'm at, what I'm doing. I'm going to answer a phone call from my brother. And he and I agree on like 2 sports teams. The rest we differ on. But the Lakers is the one we agree on the most. We are both huge Lakers fans. So I answer. hey, everything okay? And it's quiet. And all he could come out with was Kobe Bryant just died in a helicopter crash. And I'm stunned. And I'm thinking it's a hoax. Are you sure? Who's reporting it? That can't be true. It's probably an internet hoax. And he's like, well, ABC's reporting it. Or I can't remember who he mentioned. That's just a blur. And after I came to a little bit, I'm like, was his family on board? Was Vanessa and the girls, were they on board? And he was like, well, all the reporting right now is Kobe. I'm like, okay, well, maybe his family wasn't on board. Which, in between tears. And I tell him I love him. I'll talk to him later. I hang up the phone, and I'm in shock, but already in tears. And there are customers in the store who I just gotten through shooting the shit with and laughing and cutting up. Or one of the guys just looks at me. He goes, hey, are you okay? So I'm not trying to be nosy. And I just caught my composure. I said, I'm okay. And he goes, you don't look okay. And then I just said it for the first time. I said, I'm okay. I said, it's just, I'm a huge Lakers fan, and Kobe Bryant just died. And I can remember every person in that shop, 7, 8, 9 people, I can't remember how many, it's a good chunk. It was a Sunday afternoon. All turning around and looking at me like, what? No. Some of them aren't even basketball fans. Some of them are basketball fans. But they're just, they can't believe it. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, so forgive me. I'm fine. I'm not. But I had made a promise to Dylan to work the shift. And damn it, I was going to work the shift because that's just who I am. I told him I was going to do it. I was going to do it. I'm going to put my mind on it. I was going to do it. But got through the day. I cried all the way home. I get home to talk to my wife. Bawled all night. She consoled me. It was rough for me. It's still rough for me. As you guys can probably hear my voice, it's just... Anyway, and I told my wife, I'm like, I know it might sound ridiculous, crying over this basketball player that I never met, that I never talked to, that I never spoke to. But I feel like I lost a big brother. I just do. I feel as if I lost a big brother. And what's interesting about that, if you guys know anything about me, is I'm the oldest of 3 children. So I am the big brother. I never had a big brother. But Kobe was 6 years older than me when he passed. And so when he was drafted in 97, and I followed him all the way through his 20-year career, it was like, just think, imagine for some of you who have an older brother or sister, like they're everything you want to be. They're so cool. They're so awesome. Everybody loves them. They're so good at what they do. You want to be them. You want to emulate their every move. You want to aspire to be like them. You watch and you admire adoringly. Not at times, always. Like what I did with Kobe for 20 years. And you just... This... But yeah, after 20 years, I felt as if I lost a little brother. Excuse me. I felt like as if I lost an older brother. And I'd admired him. I looked up to him. I'd been there through his losses, through his wins, and he never knew me, never met me, never saw me. I was at a few of his games, but he never knew of my existence. That's not important to me because I knew of his, and he made my life infinitely better for the last 20 years, having the honor, the joy, the pleasure to watch him do what he loved the most and just shred people. And it was the greatest. And Kobe Bryant on the court, the Mamba mentality, for those of you who don't know, was a stone cold, cut your heart out killer on the basketball court. Anything he had to do to beat you, he would do it. And he'd do it with a smile on his face. That was his reputation. That was his MO. That was his personality. That was his makeup. That was him. That's Kobe Bean Bryant. And he did it for my favorite basketball team for 20 years. So in retirement, oftentimes athletes have trouble post-career. Where do you go from here? All I've ever done is played this sport. Now I'm retired. What do I do? Do I go into broadcasting? Do I stick around the game? Am I a coach? Well, I mean, what do I do? Now, a lot of times you hear about athletes struggling. Kobe seemed on his last night, on his farewell speech, his very last game, as if he was a guy who was looking forward to spending the rest of his days with his wife and his then 2 daughters, which then became subsequently 4 daughters. Because he was a family man. He's a teddy bear to his wife and daughters. So, you saw him, I saw him, I can remember just worrying about him and missing him, and I can remember seeing him courtside at a couple of Lakers games with his daughter Gianna, Gigi. And courtside to dap LeBron up one night looking so happy. Courtside for Luka, trash-talking Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks, looking so happy with his daughter Gianna right beside him because Luka was one of Gigi's favorite players. And courtside for Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks, who was one of Gigi's favorite players. And the pride and joy that he took in coaching his daughter Gianna to be the best player she could be, and the pride and joy that he had took into being as good and present a father as he possibly could for his wife Vanessa and his 4 daughters, was just, you know what, I miss watching this guy play every day, but damn, I'm happy to see him so happy. He looks like a guy in retirement who's truly got it figured out. God bless him, he deserves it. I thought that several times. And then to watch him go into his second career and win a fucking Oscar for his short film, Dear Basketball, and to think about all of the greatness that was to come. He was just getting started. 41, that's 6 years older than I am now. He's just getting started. The best was truly yet to come. And just doesn't seem right. I know we're all just people. I know that. I get it. Believe me, guys, I know. But when you think about certain people, you hold certain people up to it, but like, this couldn't happen to them. No way. Think about all the NBA legends, Hall of Famers. Bill Russell's like in his 80s, guys. He's still alive. The NBA Finals MVP award is named after him. He's still alive. He's still here. All these other guys, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is still alive. He's still here. Magic Johnson was diagnosed with HIV in 1991. He's still among us. He's in better shape than I am. Kobe Bryant's dead. He's not coming home. He's not coming back. He won't get to watch his 2 youngest daughters grow up. He won't get to watch any of his girls walk down the aisle. He won't have that father-daughter dance at their weddings. He won't get any of that. But subsequently, more importantly, is his 2 youngest daughters will never know their big sister Gianna. They'll never know their father and how devoted he was to them and how much he loved them. They'll never know. They'll know what people tell them, but they'll never know. They won't be able to dedicate it towards a personal experience or memory. They won't. And that's just fucking heartbreaking. A lifetime of blood, sweat, and tears and joy given to us, given to the game, given to us as fans, given to his loyal subjects, if you will, because Lord knows he was a king out there. And what does he get? Like 3 years of retirement to be the true best version of himself. A husband, a father. And by all accounts I've ever heard or read or seen, he was truly great at it. And he put in the work, just as he put in the work to be the stone cold killer he was on the basketball court. So, this happened weeks ago. You guys haven't seen a video from me since like the first week of January, and it's for several reasons. One, I've been very busy because of my schedule with my new job. Two, overtime schedule, and the time I've worked at Noble Records. And three, my heart just hasn't been in it. I'm not going to lie to you. It almost seems, it just seems funny to be happy about something as simple as a vinyl record coming in, or you finding a vinyl record when something like this happened. When a wife and three girls have to go forward without their sister and their father. And I know this happens to millions of families, guys. I'm not demeaning any, I mean, I don't, but it's a different connection. I didn't know them. I didn't feel as if I knew them. They weren't a part of my life. Kobe Bryant was a part of my life for 20 plus years. So I feel as if I lost like I said, an older brother. But he was just getting started. And his daughter was on her way to great things. And he was going to be there every step of the way. And it was going to be fucking great. And I was going to have me and all the millions of fans around the world were going to have front row seats. And it was just going to be great. And it's no more. Vanessa had said that his wife had said at the memorial that God knew that Kobe and Gianna couldn't be on earth without one another, so he had to bring them home together. And that's a beautiful thought. And that being said, I really just wish they were both just here. You know, they had so much left to give. But I'll close this out. I don't know how many people are going to watch it. I don't give a shit. I just felt like I needed to say this. Kobe, you were so much more than this annihilator of dreams, die hard, just cutthroat, win above all else basketball player to me. To me, you were like, as I stated earlier in the video multiple times, you were like a big brother. I watched you. I idolized you. I mimicked you. Not very well. Maybe the shooting part, but the dunking on all part, no. No, even though I tried. You're one of my heroes, man, and it still hurts, and I imagine it always will. But the pain that I feel is in no way, shape, or form tantamount to the pain that Vanessa Bryant and Natalia Bryant and Coco and Bianca feel, or that Joe Jellybean Bryant, Kobe's father, and his wife, I can't remember his mom's name, feel over the loss of their son, and his two sisters feel over the loss of their brother. It's not close. It can't be. It's not possible. No matter how bad it hurts for me. And it hurts a fucking hell of a lot. So, I'll carry my 20 plus years of memories of your greatness with me for the rest of my life. And I'll forever be sad that the world never got to see what Gianna Bryant could have done, what she could have accomplished, what she could have become, because it seems so clear from listening to so many people and watching so much footage that she was going to be great, and it was taken from her. So, and the messed up thing about it the most to me is Kobe had taken to helicopters because he lived in Los Angeles, and by taking a helicopter as opposed to driving his own personal car, that was more time. It was a quicker commute to and from practicing games, and more time he could spend with his wife and daughters. That's why he took to him in the first place. And what was more time in the short term ends up being no time in the long term. So, which, of course, is not his fault or anybody else's fault, but things happen sometimes. A death is inevitable. Father Time is undefeated. Death is undefeated. Not even the great Kobe Bryant could beat death away. And I just wanted to say, final thought, I love you, Kobe, with my whole heart. And thank you, my man, for so much greatness and so many memories. And thank you for inspiring me in so many ways. And thank you. It's not really anything else. Just thank you. Thank you. So, what I would encourage everybody to do going forward is we all as humans are inclined to spend so much time thinking about what we don't have or what we want or what's new or what can we get, or obsessing about it or being depressed if we can't have it. Spend more time thinking about what it is you have. What do you have? What are you grateful for? And for me, I don't feel like that. I mean, I feel like I'm plenty aware of what it is I have. For me, it's my wife Ashley, my rock, my foundation. It's my daughter Ramona. I'm a girl dad like Kobe. I don't have four of them. I got one, but she's my whole everything. She's my whole heart. She gets me through my long work days. She gets me through my bad days. She makes good days even better. She's my whole heart and soul, my whole everything. I love her with my everything. And if I had 10 little girls just like her, the more the better. But that's what I have. I have two parents that adore me, that love me and call on me and check on me and worry about me and set just a great example for me as to how could I be the best brother or the best son or the best father. That all comes from them, or the best husband. That's all from them. If they don't lay down the blueprint, I have nothing. My little brother and my little sister, who I don't know if they ever idolized me the same way I idolized Kobe Bryant, but I tried. And I still try. And I learned so much from them is the thing. From my brother, I learned so much about how to be a father because my brother had 3 kids by the time I had 1, and he's 2 years younger than me. But that's just the way it happened. I learned so much from them both, and I love them with all my heart. And this is what I have, and I have a job that, pays the bills. I mean, I don't love it. It ain't a passion job, but it pays the bills. It puts a roof over my family's head. It allows me to be able to put food on the table. It allows me to be able to pay the bills. It allows me my lifestyle, which I wish I had more free time, but that's nitpicking. Let's not think, again, I'm not trying to think about what I don't have. I'm trying to think about what I do have. And what I do have is a phenomenal family, a phenomenal support system, people who were there for me anytime I need them. I have a job, a roof over my head, food on the table. I have a great jazz record collection. I've got great friends who do anything in this world for me, I know for a fact. So many of them you've heard me talk about here, and so many of them you haven't heard me talk about. So many great friends. I got a part-time job at Noble Records that I absolutely love and wish that I could do on a full-time basis. But, hey, maybe someday, right, Dylan, if you're watching, if you've been able to make it through 30 minutes of me talking about Kobe. I got great cousins. I got great friends. I got a lot going for me. I mean, bitching or complaining about anything feels just flat out wrong for me because I got a lot going for me. I got so much going on that's good in my life that bitching about having a headache just doesn't seem right. It's like, well, it's the price you pay for having a great life. So it's a small and fair price to pay for having a good life, I should say. But go home tonight after you watch my video. If you're watching my video and your wife or husband or son or daughter or whatever, if they're asleep, when you see them, when they wake up, give them a hug, tell them how much you love them. Never let a single person in your life that you love wonder whether or not you love them. Let that shit be known. Let that shit just be a part of their existence where they wake up, breathe, know you love them. Let that be known. Any small like beef or anything that you've got with a family member or friend or coworker, squash that shit. It ain't worth it. It takes too much energy to hate. It takes too much energy to resent. It takes too much energy to go out of your way to ignore or resent people. Squash that shit. Be the bigger person. Call them on the phone. Send them a text message. Meet them in person. Tell them, you know what? To hell with what's going on in the past or what's going on or what could go on in the future. I'm sorry. It's not worth it. Shake hands. You can either part ways or keep going, but either way about it, squash the resentment and the hate. Squash it. Squash it. Share a laugh with someone that you used to laugh with so much, but it's been so long. Call up that friend that you haven't seen in forever. Go to that high school reunion. See these people that used to be such a big part of your life, but you've all gotten too damn busy to see one another. Go to it. Don't cancel it because you don't have anything in common anymore. Go. Go. Laugh it up. Enjoy the good times. If you don't take anything else away from what I've done this video for, just take that away. So, life's too short. It all can end in an instant. It can happen to anybody. And life is too short to hate. Life is too short to resent. Life is too short to carry burdens. So let's live a little better. Let's smile a little harder. Let's love a little harder. And damn it, let's just all be in the moment and let's just be together, be with each other, and love one another. And if you don't take anything else away, I hope you take that. But thank you, Kobe, for 20 plus years of memories. Thank you. And for those of you in the vinyl community that are watching this, you guys know how much I love you. I hope so. But if you don't, damn it, I love you. I love all 994 of you that sub to my channel as of this moment. And those who don't sub and have just thought about it, I love you too, damn it. And for any of you at all, I love you. May God bless you. May God make you happy. May God bring you peace. And may you take something away from either A, this video, or B, this tragedy. And you don't have to let me know. You don't have to tell me about it. You don't have to say anything at all. Just, damn it, just go out and live. Because it can all be over today. It can all be over 5 minutes from now. So let's make those 5 minutes count. Till next time, till next video, which I can promise you will be a vinyl related video. Keep dropping that you guys. Love each other. Hug each other. Be there. Forgive. Love you guys.